welcome to Digital Dialogues powered by CXO Digital Pulse. In today's digital environment, customers demand not just multi channel communication, but a seamless, context aware, and secure experience, regardless of platform, devices, or network. Yet, the road to delivering such unified interactions is riddled with challenges from fragmented journeys to evolving security threats. In this conversation, we explore some of the most pressing topics of unified communication. And the expert who will be shedding light on this crucial subject is Mr. Nikhil Shoorji, who's Executive Director Global Business Development at Infobip. A warm welcome, Nikhil.
Thank you, Pratik. Lovely to be here.
Same here. And I hope so we get most of the insights on this really critical and the buzzing subject that we have. And I think omnichannel has become such a buzzword, but in reality, as per our understanding, most customer journey are still very fragmented across platforms. So, as per you, what are the biggest misconceptions that enterprises hold about omnichannel strategy, and how do you intend to reframe this narrative for them?
Well, it's an excellent question to begin with, Pratik. And everybody talks about this buzzword of omni-channel, and it's a lot of times it's mixed up with multi-channel. But the biggest trap that the brands and enterprises fall into is assuming that omni-channel means every channel, or omni-channel means that they have to be across. You have to make sure that they are present on every channel, and that is not the case. Most importantly, enterprises and brands need to be on the channel that their customers are comfortable and would like to communicate on. In addition, the reality is that without unified data and context sharing across all these channels, customer experiences tends to be disjointed, and it leads to a lot of frustration, and churn. Another common misconception here is that omni-channel is only used for marketing. Now, yes, it is very prevalent in the marketing, space, but it has to be used for marketing, for sales, for customer service, after sales service, payments, everything. So a really good omni-channel strategy would involve multiple channels, but again, like I said, based on what the customers really would require, and seamless gliding between and interaction between these channels, throughout the journey. Now, where telecom native platforms like Infobip, we have a distinct advantage. We're not just integrating channels; we're unifying this data for enterprises, which basically allows them to connect all their different systems and their different databases, and give a very wholesome experience to their customers. Now, because we work on an infrastructure level, we can bridge telco-grade connectivity with advanced customer engagement tools, enabling real-time orchestration across SMS, RCS, WhatsApp, email, voice, and even in-app messaging. Now, for enterprises across India and Asia, where mobile-first behavior is dominant, an experience-first approach means that every interaction, be it WhatsApp or a missed email or a missed call trigger, is a data point for contextual personalization. So if you're able to add, let's say, an AI layer on top of that, you can help brands shift seamlessly between these channels and provide a really, really seamless journey-based engagement with the customer. We recently launched what we call a customer experience orchestration platform, or CXOP for short, where we bring all these capabilities together for the businesses to design, to automate, and truly provide an omni-channel strategy and experience on a single platform. And I think that has seen a pretty good uptake. Businesses are happy to have one platform to be able to do all that is required for to make the strategy a reality. And I believe apart from unifying customer data and orchestrating engagement across these channels, personalization is very key, and especially in India, scale is another key factor. So a lot of businesses and brands forget to follow up on this. They just believe that, okay, we're connected on all channels. That's great. That's a great, omni-channel strategy. But they need to be able to, scale it. They need to be able to, like, they need to have intelligent agents. Creating this journey and interaction, which understand context. They act autonomously. They collaborate with human agents because that's also very, very important. And when needed, they make omni-channel journeys faster, smarter, and just more efficient. So this is, I mean, the real crux is to be able to move from theory to reality and have a meaningful impact. So I think that's, in a nutshell, that's where omni-channel strategy should go.
Okay. And as you mentioned about the telcos, and I understand that with the telco grade network APIs, which are gaining more traction and more specifically post the GSMA's open gateways. So, how can operators balance this openness while ensuring security for the consumers? So, what safeguards should be the essentials to make these APIs enterprise ready?
Wow, yeah. So safety is always the key. It's always very important, for everybody, and especially in today's day and age. Um, I think network APIs are at the heart of the next digital leap, especially for telcos and cloud platform providers like us. And they actually open up the telcos to core developers and enterprises, who, without compromising on control and security, can provide a certain level of performance. But with
Yes.
this, it's very important that you mentioned, risk, because with this openness comes that risk. And telcos must strike a balance between exposing their most valuable asset, which is their network, and also protecting it from misuse, fraud, and degradation. um, Look, to ensure mobile network APIs are enterprise ready, so they're performing well, and they run smoothly. I think it's very critical that certain architectural safeguards need to be put in place. For example, authentication and consent frameworks that follow the GSMA open gateway standards are very critical, because this provides that assurance even for the customer that the consent is given, and it avoids these being misused for spam, and especially nowadays in India for scams. The other key here is policy. So policy control and real-time governance of those policies that will let telcos monitor these API accesses, and throttle traffic if needed, and define certain access tiers, and some safeguards. I think that is critical. And of course, you need end-to-end security monitoring. That is very critical for fraud detection, because then you can, with a programmable business logic, you can enforce the telco and enterprise specific rules. So this end-to-end
Okay.
visibility is very critical.
And
Um,
as Nikhil, you mentioned about all the frauds, and right now I understand the kind of frauds and phishing attacks which are growing, even for the end consumers, and more specifically, if I talk about the OTPs aspect. So, what kind of innovations are there which are ensuring and strengthening the take, or do you see something replacing them in the next phase of a more secure mobile first interaction for consumers?
See, the era of traditional OTPs is nearing its peak. I've been in this industry now for more than 20 years, and I can, I've seen the flow of SMS and the popularity of SMS. It is still being widely used, that's for sure. And especially in India, we all know that we all use, OTPs, like you mentioned. But this is something that I see has reached its peak, and I do believe that it needs something that's a little more secure. And jump in here, you have your network APIs again. We're working very closely with the BFSI sector in India, and actually in Brazil, we've had some great case studies with network APIs. So the first one would be, let's say, silent mobile verification, which basically accesses your phone and verifies that it is you, without having the need to actually check your inbox for an OTP, and remembering the OTP and then typing it in. Which, to be honest, even for me, it's quite a hassle, and I can understand there are a lot of other users who don't have as much ease in switching between apps and remembering the OTPs. Another API that's very, very prevalent now is SIM to get the SIM swap status, which allows you to understand, it allows the bank to basically check how old your SIM card is. And this prevents the misuse. of someone has cloned your SIM card, or someone has, changed your SIM card. The user is unaware, and this actually checks it and gives, how old that SIM card, is, which is something that banks can then do their analysis and prevent this misuse from taking place. And you then have rich messaging like RCS, which adds an additional layer of ease for the user. And actually that provides, so that coupled with these APIs provides a very unique all-round experience. So you have a verified message which kind of says that, look, we've checked, you're in the middle of a transaction and we've checked and we feel that there is an error. Why don't you let us know your thoughts? Is this you? Are you actually doing this transaction, etc.? So APIs coupled with rich messaging, I think, provides a very, very good verification. And
Okay.
you add AI to this, I think that really, really makes things much faster and allows it to scale.
I was just coming with AI only because we are talking about API. So another acronym starting with AI and ending with I is now the artificial intelligence. And I'm sure the telecom operators are not behind in this race. So how do you see the convergence of this artificial intelligence along with the APIs are there, and how does it impact the overall customer engagement? Because now it's more about real time, adding to the personalization aspect, and then further adding a layer of trust and scalability. So, how do you see this?
We're actually entering an age of smart connectivity where the network itself becomes an active participant in the customer journey. This shift is particularly noticeable and relevant in India, where scale and mobile dominance demand automation, and of course real-time delivery. So the convergence of AI, network APIs, and engagement platforms, and especially rich messaging, actually gives you the full, all-round experience, which allows brands and enterprises to actually get their customer on an actual conversational and commercial journey, with them where they're comfortable. So real-time intent prediction and behavioral usage. This is done with network data. So this is it's really cool, and it kind of helps uh, the user get what they're actually looking for. Dynamic channel routing is another thing where networks can help decide whether an alert goes out on which channel based on user trends, based on the criticality of that communication, as well as, of course, that specific subscriber, what that person actually likes to interact on. And of course, fraud prevention is embedded in this engagement. So it's not like an added service, so it's not an added platform, an added tool which is preventing, helping prevention of fraud. It's all inbuilt, like blocking of OTP delivery on a SIM that has recently been swapped. That example that I gave you, I think that's very critical, and also bundling it with rich communication going back, which is verified. Today we get messages where we're not sure if they're a verified message or not, but through rich messaging like RCS, you actually get the verified tick over there, and that the telco has been involved in that verification, and that actually helps in a big way to give that assurance. Programmable mobile network APIs make all of this possible. So working closely with the telcos is the key over here to provide these services, across across most regions. And if you think about it this way, like imagine an operator offering not just connectivity, but giving you, let's say, a trusted delivery where enterprises can send messages with a fraud scoring or a geofencing built in. So the misuse is already curtailed before there is a chance for it to go out in the open. And of course, Infobip is playing a leading role here, through partnerships with our operators and the GSMA Open Network Gateway Alignment. We're embedding intelligence at the edge, bringing AI, security, and engagement closer to the end user. So this not only future-proofs telcos or techcos, as they like to be called nowadays, but positions them as vital enablers of India's digital ecosystem. And this is across all industries. I mean, I gave a lot of examples on BFSI, but this goes all the way out to e-commerce, to healthcare, and of course, public services.
Okay, great. And thanks, Nikhil, for these insights that you highlighted. And what I could understand that delivering a secure, omni-channel and personalized experiences, they are going beyond tech adoption. And with the programmable APIs, with the network level authentication, further added by AI-driven personalization, telco native platforms as yours, Infobip, are definitely set to lead the next wave in the overall communication landscape. So, thank you for sharing all these insights with us and being here with us today.
Thank you so much, Pratik. Thanks for having me and for having this lovely conversation.
It's our pleasure, and thank you for our lovely audience also for joining us. And as we continue our mission to spark conversation that are shaping the future of enterprise technology, currently we do take a sign off, but we'll meet soon. And until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and do take care of yourself. Thank you so much.